Well, as we get ready to ring in the new year, it's a good bet that many of us have made a resolution or two about money. If you're going to try to get your financial house in order next year, we've got 3 solutions to help you get that done. And joining me now is Cody Willard. He is the co-host of Fox, the Happy Hour on the Fox Business Network. Good morning. Good to see you.
Good to see you. How are you?
Happy New Year.
Thank you.
So let's get to the savings rate. We've seen that Americans, due to this financial crisis, have started to save at record levels we haven't seen over the past few years and in many decades. So what should people be doing with their savings? Should they be putting it in a savings account, or should they be putting it in their 401k at work?
You know, I think people end up paying way too much attention to the tax implications in their IRAs and their 401ks and trying to figure out how to maximize their tax benefits and minimize the actual tax payments they make to the government. And instead, you should really just focus on saving that money, making sure that you're getting some return on it or even return of it and not risking it irresponsibly. So I'm all for savings.
Savings. And let's delve further into the 401k investment, because we've seen companies, Fortune 500 companies over the past year, many more have stopped matching. What does that mean for the consumer at home?
For the consumer at home, if you're part of a company that has stopped matching, and you probably are, most companies have actually cut back on what they, even if they are still matching some, they're not doing as much as they used to in your 401k when you put money into it. So that hurts you. I mean, that's less money going into your financial savings for the future. And that's, again, it's another reason to not really worry too much about figuring out your 401ks and IRAs and just making sure that your financial ship at home and your credit cards and real estate and everything else is in order.
You mentioned real estate. I have to say, and I'm sure you can agree, the #1 question I'm asked when I walk the streets is people asking me, is now the time that I should buy a home? Should I buy a house right now? We've seen that tax credit for first-time home buyers has been extended through the spring of next year. Mortgage rates are still relatively low right now. Interest rates near 0%. What do you tell people? Are we going to see a double dip, or is now a time to buy?
You know, I don't even know that we'll call it a double dip, because I'm not sure the first dip is even over. We've had some stabilization temporarily here, and yes, we have channeled trillions of dollars of new programs and policies from the Republicans and Democrats in power over the last few years into propping up housing. Housing is still twice a cost of a real estate, a house itself, if you're going to buy it, is still twice today what it was just 10 years ago in most areas of the country. I think that's the stock market's still where it was 10 years ago. I think there's still way too much risk in real estate. If you can afford to put real money into a house and not have to borrow hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands of dollars, maybe you want to consider doing that. But you got to know you're still risking a lot of money regardless. When you put money into real estate, it's risky.
It's risky. And something else that's risky is debt. And we've seen that Americans continue to accrue a lot of debt. We have new credit card rules and regulations going into effect in February. So what should consumers worried about their debt be doing over the next month with these rules coming into play?
First thing, you need to know that those rules have already been implemented. The credit card companies get ahead of the regulations. They know that they're coming. And if you'll go look at your credit cards, you'll know. You should first go and look at your statement right now, and you'll see that you're paying, if you were paying 9% on your credit cards, 9% interest just 2 years ago, today it's 25%. Your rates have gone through the roof. It's more important than ever. Just get out of credit card debt. Pay it off. We shouldn't even be talking about real estate, stocks, or anything else until you make sure that you have gotten out of your credit card debt. It's a 25% guaranteed return to just get out of that 25% interest rate debt.
And in this time frame, the next few weeks, do you think that consumers should start calling their banks once again if they want to negotiate some sort of deal as to getting lower rates possibly?
Sure, absolutely. I mean, it's always a good idea if you think you can get lower rates to try and get it, but more importantly, figure out ways to pay the credit card off, get out of the debt, because even if you're paying 15% instead of 25%, 15% is a heck of a lot of interest to be paying.
Yeah, financial crises are not the #1 resolution we seem to have people saying every year is, I want to get out of debt this year. Well, hopefully they'll be able to do it at 2010. Thanks for joining us, Cody.
Hey,
Cody Willard, Happy New Year to you.
You too.